A 107 millimeter rocket is normally big enough to blow up a whole building. It's a little over 3 feet tall, about as big around as a large grapefruit, and it comes screaming in several times faster than the speed of sound. This one in particular knocked out the entire wall of the building I was in. In a large part, I had a fantastic life leading up to my injury. I had a fantastic childhood. I had a great set of parents who raised me in the church. I'd married a beautiful woman who was pregnant with our first child. I was serving as an officer in the United States Air Force, and we were really living the American dream. I felt like I was totally in control of my life, and I was doing everything right. Right after my 30th birthday, I was getting ready to go on my third deployment to Afghanistan. It was difficult, obviously, like it is every time, leaving my wife back here in the States, but I knew that she was going to be okay. We were excited about the pregnancy, and I knew I was going to come home before my daughter was born. I deployed in support of the Air Force Special Tactics Squadron. Their primary mission is controlling the aircraft that operate in support of those ground missions that they do. I was excited. We've got a mission to do, and I was prepared. I was more prepared than any other deployment. There was nothing that I would have rather been doing. What I didn't know is that I was going to come home much earlier than anticipated. I'd traveled down to southeast Afghanistan, helping out a special operations team down there. After about a week, the base was attacked with indirect fire. And a 107 millimeter rocket come in and hit the building I was in. The ceiling was falling down. The walls were coming in. The blast broke a couple of vertebrae in my back and sent shrapnel through my body. Collapsed both of my lungs. I started to panic. I knew that if I didn't have any help soon, I was going to die. After about a week of being in the ICU, I had a physician come in and talk to my wife and I. And she told my wife that she was going to have to take care of everything for me, and I would be completely dependent on her for the rest of my life. She told us that knowing that 3 months away we were going to have a brand new baby coming. A new baby who was most assuredly dependent on my wife. So it was very, very difficult to process right at that moment. John chapter 15:11. These things I've spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. So one of the most vivid experiences that I've ever had in my life happened sometime between being loaded on the helicopter and waking up at Walter Reed. And I felt myself slip away from this world. And I felt the presence of God. And He comforted me. He reminded me that I was His child. But He also told me that I had work to do. even though I didn't have a strong daily walk with the Lord prior to my injury, that foundation of faith was still there. And that's what carried me through. That provided me a degree of comfort knowing that, ultimately I am not in control. God is the commander of the universe. He's in control of everything. Has been from the beginning of time and even before, and will be for forever. It was comforting recognizing that this is the major part of my story, the role I have in His kingdom and in service to Him. All I needed to do was trust. I spend a lot of time in the morning getting a cup of coffee and going to a quiet place in my house and opening up my Bible and reading verse by verse stories about God's grace and how He restores people from suffering. And I ask for strength and guidance. And I ask Him for help because I'm dependent on Him for that. And it takes that every single day, and I continue to grow. And He provides the comfort knowing that I'm never alone. But here on this earth, we have, as a community of veterans, as a support network, where we can lean on each other.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
I have some of the same joy that many other people have. My daughter is about to turn 4 years old, and she's beautiful and smart and funny, and she's just such a blessing. Over the last 4 years, I've been able to take care of myself, dress myself. My wife and I have gone back to work. I have to put on a suit a couple of times a week to go to meetings and that type of thing, which is a huge step for somebody who was told by a physician that his wife would have to feed him for the rest of his life. I believe that this injury is actually a gift from God because it affords me the opportunity to share my faith in Jesus Christ with other people. And that's the greatest joy that I have.